As you approach the first posture of the class, I want you to immediately begin to connect with your body and with your breath and what's happening inside of you, what's happening around you. So how do we do all of that? Begin to maybe keep the eyes open, looking up to the ceiling, soft gaze. Begin to just observe the sounds around you. These sounds will forever be there. Sounds in the room, sounds outside of the room, people walking by, doors closing. All of those sounds will forever always be there. So once we begin to observe them, begin to pull your awareness inward. Now begin to close the eyes and send your awareness to the breath, the length of the inhale, followed by the length of the exhale. Just gently place your hands the outside of the knees and pull your knees into your chest, giving yourself this gentle kind of hug and squeeze. Holding on to the right leg, extend your left leg straight out in front of you, resting the left heel to the mat. Hold your shin bone with your hands. It doesn't matter if they're intertwined or just grabbing individually. Good. Take a breath in. And pull the knee up into the armpit as you breathe out. Now you can stay here or begin to go into a half happy baby. So press the sole of your right foot to the ceiling, and you can grab the hamstring for a kind of a less intense version. The big toe with peace sign fingers or pinky side. Now bring the elbow to the inside of the knee to create space for your shoulder. So everyone bring your elbow to the inside of the knee if you're holding your foot. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another, breath in, pull just a little bit more, breath out. Good, supine twist. So take your left hand across the body and drape your knee over towards the side mirrors, cactus your right arm, look directly above you. So once you come into your twist, keep your gaze to the ceiling. Take a moment here to kind of observe how this twist feels. Let go of the bind of the toe, guys. Just take the left hand to the right knee. Good. One more breath in and a breath out. Coming back into your half happy baby, but I want you to grab your shin bone now and take the right knee out to the side like Captain Morgan. All right, so flex the left toe or right toes. Maybe come to cactus left arm. Take a breath in. And draw the right knee down as you breathe out. Good. Now begin to come back to center, hug your knees into the chest, and do the same thing on the other side. So extend your right leg out long. And again, we're not forcing our body into any shapes, guys, okay? So start to interlace the fingers or grab the shin bone, breathe in, and pull the knee to the left armpit as you breathe out. I'm finding your half happy baby on your left side. And if you notice when you took that big toe grab that your neck popped up and your shoulder is rounded, I want you to grab the ankle or even the hamstring. So go ahead and go big toe grab, ankle, hamstring. Focus more on what's happening in the chest, more than what's happening in your leg at the initial part of the posture. Breathe in and pull the knee outside to the ribs as you breathe out. Good, letting go of the bind, right hand crosses the body. Press your right hand to the left knee and just start to drape your left knee over towards the mural, cactus your left arm. Breath in. And press the knee towards the earth and the shoulder towards the ground, breath out. Now come back to center, hold the shin bone, cactus your right arm, flex your left foot, and let your left knee fall to the side like a Captain Morgan leg. Breathe in. Pull the knee down as you breathe out. Good. Now begin to pull the knees into the chest. Grab behind the hamstring. So where the knees bend. And just begin to rock up and down the spine, coming into a sitting position, maybe after 3 or 4 rocks. Once you settle into your Sukhasana seated position, all of us have a block, okay? So if your knees are really high up, a really great way to get into the hips is to sit on the block and then send the thigh bones away from you, okay? So we're creating more space for our hips. So whether knees or butt is on the block or butt is on the ground, I want you to take your hands to the knees and roll the shoulder blades back, gaze up like a cow back. And as you exhale, roll past the tailbone into the sits bones, into the spine as you breathe out. And do that again. Inhale, roll past the sits bones, pull the upper body forward. Exhale, round and tuck, getting into that spine. One more round, bring it forward on the inhale. Round it back, grab the knees, roll past your tailbone into the low back and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back up to center. Now we're going to take our happy baby because we are working on core muscles today. We're going to take your happy baby, starting with your heels onto the ground. And I want you to see if you can come into an upright happy baby. So without the support of the ground, our core has to begin to work. If you're on a block, set your block aside. Good. Holding on to the soles of the feet, I want you to pull the knees towards the armpits and then press the triceps into the knees. Draw your shoulder blades together so the heart is lifted. Yeah, you guys are falling back and forth. That's a good thing, okay? That means our core is trying to work here. Now we're going to intentionally begin to fall back. So you can hold on to the feet, hold on to the knees, hold on to the ankles, start to roll back, and then press into the hands, and can you roll back up? Yeah, and then just take that roll back and up for the next 10. 9, good. 8, 7, notice the core muscles having to stabilize when you come up for 5, 4, don't let it go. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Coming back into your your upright happy baby. Holding on to the feet. Hold. 5, 4, spine straight. 3, 2, and 1. Cross your ankles and either roll over the shin bones or kick them to the side to tabletop. And when you come into your tabletop, look at the hands, make sure fingers are wide, and just begin to rock your hips from side to side. But everything else stays the same. Then come back to center, knees underneath the hips, drop belly, cow posture, just like we did on our butts. Exhale, round and tuck, pressing into the earth, protract the shoulders. Do that again. Inhale, drop the belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round and tuck. One more round. Inhale, drop the belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round and tuck, and hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come to your neutral spine. Shift the weight into your left shin bone, untuck your left toes, and extend your right leg to the back of the room. Now notice when your right leg goes back, does your upper back or mid-low back begin to collapse? Can you draw your ribs in, finding that tabletop flat spine to the best of your ability? Flex your right toes to the earth, squeeze the right glute, and lift your leg a little higher. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, knee to the wrist, tap. Good. Inhale, extend back to 3-point. Now take your knee to your elbow. Inhale, extend. Now bring your knee above your elbow, closer to the armpit. Hold. 5. Press into the hands. 4. Dome your upper back. 3. Pull right heel to glute. 2 and 1. Extend it all out. Right leg stays up and lifted. Now swing the right leg out to the side. Set it down to the earth. Drop the belly. Lift your gaze. Cow posture with an extended leg. And as you exhale, sit your hips back towards your heels like child's pose with your extended right leg. Toes can be pointing up, toes can be pointing forward, and I highly recommend you kind of rock on the heel and kind of feel which one feels the best for you. Breathe in, push left hip to heel as you breathe out. Now begin to shift your body weight forward into your tabletop with your right leg still where it is. And as you exhale, bend your elbows a little or a lot coming into that low chaturanga. Press up into your high plank arms. And as you exhale, sit back to child's pose body. Do that again 4 more times. Inhale, come to center, look at the top of your mat. Exhale, chaturanga halfway. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower back. 3 more on your own. Two more. Now in this next one, come forward, come into that low chaturanga, look at the shoulders, make sure they're not dipping past the elbows, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, press into straight arms on 1. Good. Walk your left hand out to the side to fingertips. So we're kind of right leg long, left leg out. All right, our right leg, yeah, that's what, left arm out. All right, start to float your right leg off the ground. Now, if you don't need this left hand, lift the left arm off the ground and hold for 5. Press into shin bone and palm. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch everything out, knock shit over, straighten the arm and leg. Tabletop as you exhale. Drop your belly, lift your gaze, cow posture to reset. Exhale, round and tuck and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come to your neutral spine. Left leg goes back. Point your left toes to the earth. Press into your palms. Good. Now, draw the rib cage up and in. Breathe in. Knee to wrist. Breathe out. Extend. Breathe in. Knee to elbow. Breathe out. One more round. Inhale. Now, knee to armpit. Dome the upper back. Tuck chin to the chest. Press into the hands. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend long. Good. Then swing it out to the left. Set your foot down. Cow posture. Drop the belly. Lift your gaze. And as you exhale, hips to the heels. Child's pose. Take a moment here to take the left toes up and down, getting into the hamstring, into the adductor. Good. Now begin to come back up to center to high plank arms. Breathe in. Chaturanga. Bend your elbows. Send your heart forward. Breathe out. Press up to straight arms. Inhale. Go back as you exhale. 4 more. Inhale. Come forward. Bend the elbows just enough to lower shoulders in front of wrists. Inhale. Exhale back. Our shoulders in front of elbows. 3 more. Breathe in. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, back. 2 more on your own. We're going to hold that last one, low chaturanga. All right. Begin to come forward. Inhale, lower and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to straight arms. Walk your left hand off your mat to your fingertips, pointing towards the mural. Float your left leg off the ground. Maybe you float your left hand or right hand off the ground. Hold. 5. Nice, Jim. 4, 3, 2. Bring it back to center. 1. Breathe in. Hands and knees down. Breathe out. Cow posture. Drop belly. Inhale. Exhale. Round and tuck and hold. 3. Downward facing dog. 2. Downward facing dog on 1. Good. Once you elevate the hips to the sky, shift your body weight forward to a high plank for a moment, just to measure out our down dog. So adjust your wrists under shoulders, heels over the knee or heels over the toes, then go back to down dog. Separate the feet a little wider than your hips and take your dog for a walk. Notice how you feel in this first inversion, this gentle inversion. Inversions are just technically head below the heart. Now begin to bend your knees, look to the hands, jump or step or walk to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, place your hands to your shins and find a back bend, lifting the chest upwards. As you exhale, bend your knees, forward fold. Do that 2 more times. Hands to shins or knees, pull the upper body up and back. Exhale, bend the knees, round and fold. 1 more time. Inhale, find that back bend. Exhale, round and fold. Stepping back into your high plank. Press your palms into the earth. Hold here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Drop to the knees on 1. Good. Tuck your toes. Sit your hips to your heels. All right. Now, if this is too much for you, sitting on the heels, you can always take your block, put it in between your calf muscles and your hamstrings, and that's going to give you a little bit more lift. Okay. So what I haven't told you guys today, what we're going to be working on, crow, building strength in our crow pose. So if we break down what crow actually is, what is it? It's chaturanga arms, right? It's protraction of the shoulders and external rotation of your hips. So our flow today is going to be encompassing all of those things. So one thing we're going to start with is strengthening the wrists, because the wrists are often the first thing that irritate people once we get into chaturangas. If we can strengthen the forearms, we can strengthen the wrist. So from this toe tuck, yes, I intentionally made you hold this longer than you probably wanted to. Welcome to yoga. All right. So extend your arms in front of you with your palms facing down. Okay. And if sitting on your heels is too much, then you can sit crisscross applesauce. Now begin to pull your palms into a fist and extend your arm fingers wide. Pull them in and extend them wide. Pull them in and extend them wide, and then pick it up. Go faster. Squeeze them in tight. Go faster and keep doing it for 10, 9, 8, squeeze harder, 7, 6, find that focus, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, roll it out. Whew. Everyone feel that in your forearms? Yeah, all right. I'm gonna turn my mat sideways because it's just easier to see. All right, come on, bring your hands out like this. Place your hands to the ground in tabletop, and then just begin to rock from side to side. So we're strengthening and then stretching. All right, come back into that seated position. This time, extend your arms over your head with your palms facing the front of the room. Squeeze the fist, extend your fingers, squeeze and extend, squeeze and extend, and keep going. Faster and faster. Hold for 10. Keep going. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Can you go faster? 3. There it is. 2 and 1. Take the hands to the ground, fingertips away, rock side to side. All right. So those are really great drills to begin to build strength in your forearms. A lot of times people with wrist issues in our yoga practice, I have found that, they're on a computer a lot, not with an ergonomic typewriter. What is this, 1920? Ergonomic keyboard, okay? So when you don't have an ergonomic keyboard, your wrists are in constant flexion, and then we come here and then we put weight in that constant flexion. So putting something under the wrist will definitely help. All right. So first component of our crow pose, chaturanga. Everyone take your block and put it at the top underneath, I don't care what shoulder. So oftentimes we go a little too deep in our chaturanga. So take your middle finger and put it in the middle of that block. Now begin to walk the knees back just a little bit and shift your body weight forward so we're in a modified high plank. All right. So from your modified high plank, you're going to draw or bend the elbows, send them back, and then pull your heart forward and tap your shoulder to the block. Yeah. And then press back up to straight arms, but don't let the hips come back, okay? So stay in your modified plank. Look at the top of the mat, breathe in, and I'll bend your elbows, lower, tap, and then press up. You guys got that? Keep it going, 10 seconds. Lowering and lifting. Pressing into the earth, keep your hips as high as the shoulders. Elbows point behind you, gaze is in front of you. Good, you have 5. Yes, really focus on pressing away, concentric in 3, 2, 1. Yes, child's pose. Send your hips back. All right, bring it forward. Coming into your tabletop, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. We're gonna take one little moment of a free flow here. So I want you to bend your knees, travel to the top of your mat. If you're unfamiliar with free flow, I'm gonna teach a flow, 2 rounds, and then send you on your own to make it your own. Find that halfway lift, breathe in, hands to shins, forward fold, breathe out. Chair pose. Yeah. Good. Jim, separate your feet just a little bit wider so the ankles and knees. There you go. Good. As the weight goes into the heels, draw the rib cage up and in. Take a breath in. Sink the hips 2 inches. Breathe out. Now inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, drinking bird. So lift the heels off the ground. Focus on pulling the knees towards one another if the toes are touching. Otherwise, they're going to stay pointing forward. Tilt the body forward. Hold 3, 2, heels down, arms up on 1. Breathe in, reach up. Bend your knees, forward fold. Breathe out. Straighten the legs, halfway lift to a back bend. Plant the hands, step to high plank. All right, so now we're gonna take what we just did and actually implement it into a flow. So shift your body weight forward. If you need to go to that modified plank, take it now, breath in. Chaturanga, lower halfway, half as low as where you think you should go. Untuck the toes, either slither the hips into cobra pose or press into the palms and feet, upward facing dog, squeeze the butt. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Take your dog for a walk just for a moment. Good, now inhale, right leg goes up. And as you exhale, step the right foot through between your hands, fingers, and toes aligned. If your foot has a tendency to stop halfway, grab your ankle and move it. We got to teach our body how to lengthen. Come into high crescent lunge, breathe in, reach your arms up. Bend your front knee. And again, if your ribs are flailing forward, can you knit them down? Maybe by bending your back knee a little bit. Take a breath in, hands go to floor, step back to high plank. Option to hold high plank and go to down dog, or take another chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra, downward facing dog, exhale. Left leg goes up, step left foot through. Good, plant your foot into the ground, then reach your arms up, inhale. Good. Take inventory of the body. Ribs are down, shoulders are away from the ears, back knee is bent. Breathe in, hands go to floor, tip back as you breathe out. Shift forward, breath in, take your chaturanga or go to down dog as you breathe out. So we're keeping it very simple today. Bend your knees, look to the hands, travel to the top of your mat. Jump, step, walk, halfway lift, forward fold. Chair pose, breathe in. Drinking bird, breathe out. Mountain pose, breathe in, stand tall. Forward fold as you breathe out. Halfway lift, hands to shins, breathe in. Plant your hands, high plank to low plank or high plank to down dog. From your down dog, right leg goes up, right knee or right foot steps through between your hands. Crescent lunge, breathe in. High plank to low chaturanga as you breathe out. So take your time. If you needed additional breath between chaturanga and our high crescent and chaturanga, take it. Now our left side, left leg goes up. Step left foot through. Crescent lunge, breathe in. Low chaturanga or high plank to low chaturanga, breath out. Move with control in your chaturangas. All right, that is our free flow. Nothing too crazy today. Feel free to make it your own. We have 2 minutes to just flow on our own. So that can be holding high plank for 2 minutes. That could be recreating my flow. Bend your knees, jump or step or walk. Halfway lift, breath in. I'm going to get you started. Chair or forward fold, breathe out. Chair pose, breathe in. Drinking, breathe out. Mountain pose, breathe in. Take your flow for 2 minutes. Yeah, and whether you remember everything I taught or nothing I taught, that's a part of the journey. Good. Watch where you're looking in your chaturangas, guys. Keep your gaze forward. You have 1 minute left. Go. "45 seconds. Do your best. Make sure you breathe in every shape you make." Here you go, Erin. Finish up in 20 seconds in downward facing dog. Finding that down dog in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, down dog in 1. Shift forward, forearm plank. Drop to your elbows. Press into the forearms. Lift your hips in line with your shoulders. Untuck your chin away from your chest. Option to come to the knees. 1 minute here. If you need to come to the knees, come to the knees unapologetically. Now everyone protract the shoulders, meaning find that angry cat back by pressing into the arms. Feeling the strength in the chest, in the shoulders, in the abdomen. Good. Stay with it. 30 more seconds. Yes, you can. Close your eyes. Let your body challenge you. Let your breath center you. 20 seconds. Yes, you can. Can you soften the muscles along your jawline and in your eyes? You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop down to the knees, grab some water. All right, warm up is complete. Okay, so our flow today, like I said, is going to be centered around building strength in our chaturangas, protraction in the shoulders, and external rotation of your hips. So we're going to start today in mountain pose at the top of your mat. So make your way to the top of your mat, bringing your feet together. Good. Once you get to the top, Reach your arms up over your head. Some of you guys are already ahead of me. I love it. Inhale, arms up, hands to heart, exhale. Good. Reach the arms back up over your head. Inhale, open them out to the side and rest them next to your hips. Exhale. Do that again. Reach up, breathe in, hands to heart, breath out. Reach back up, breathe in, arms to the side, breath out. Do that one more time on your own. Good. Inhale, arms up. Chair pose, exhale. Good. Sitting in your chair pose, untuck the chin away from the chest, shift weight towards the heels, ankles and knees in one straight stacked line. Take a breath in, drinking bird, arms behind you, pop the heels, breath out. Feels familiar. Warming up the feet, roll the weight into the toes. Good. Now keep the heels off the ground and reach your hands in front of you. Okay, so we're finding some instability here. Press the inner knees together. Now we're going to start to lower our hips towards our heels. So if you need to bring the hands to the ground to help you lower, do it, or squeeze the inner thighs and the core nice and tight. Once you get down to the bottom, open the knees and place the palms flat on the ground. This is kind of like a gargoyle shape, okay? So begin to walk your hands forward, looking at the hands as you walk them as far away from you as you can. And then lower your ears in between the arms, open the knees by engaging the glutes. Let the head fall, press into the hands hard. So like in this child's pose, upper body, hold for 5, 4, 3, hold 2, hold 1. Begin to walk your hands next to your body again. Bring in the knees together. Walk your hands to the ground and tilt the body forward with your knees connected to the chest and your elbows tucking into your thighs. So we're feeling a lot of core engagement here as you press into the hands, dome the upper back, and then one at a time, step back into your high plank. Option to go chaturanga or downward facing dog. Good. From your downward facing dog, inhale your right leg up to the sky. Bring your right knee to your right wrist. Shift forward. Bring it down to the wrist, guys. Inhale, leg up. Bring your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale it up. Now bring it above your elbow. Look past your fingertips and then press into the hands. Dome your back. Hold here. 5, 4, 3, 2. Kick the leg back up on 1. Breath in. Step it to the outside of your hand as you breathe out. Drop your back knee to the earth. So oftentimes when we come into our lizard lunge, we just immediately make it passive by letting the knee fall out. So this first one, we're going to make it extremely active. So I want you to press your right knee into your right shoulder and your right shoulder into your right knee. Now start to press into the hands, feeling all points of contact. Maybe your back knee is grounded. Maybe you want to lift it up. Now begin to press your knee into arm, arm into knee, feeling the obliques begin to activate. For 10, 9, keep pressing the knee into the arm. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, keep pressing. 3, don't lose it. 2, 1, step back to high plank and flow, or step back to high plank, down dog. Good. Once you get your down dog, left leg comes up, breath in, tap left knee to left wrist as you breathe out. Inhale, stretch your leg up, knee to elbow, shift forward, look at the top of your mat. Inhale. Now bring your knee above your elbow, closer to the armpit. Press into the hands to dome the upper back. Look between the thumbs. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send your leg back up. Now step it to the outside to lizard lunge active. Drop the back knee just to set it up. Squeeze left knee to left arm. Good. Left arm to left knee. Now that we have that connection, press hard into the hands. Now that we have that connection, maybe the back knee tucks. Good. Look in between the hands. Hold. 10. Squeeze knee to arm, arm to knee. 8, 7. Press harder into the ground. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. High plank and flow, high plank and down dog. Good. Now from your downward facing dog, inhale your right leg up to the sky. Step your right foot through between your hands. Take a moment here to rock your body forward and back, getting into the hamstring, into the quad, into the hip flexor, before we settle into our high crescent lunge. Shift your body weight forward, knee over ankle. Inhale, arms up. Good. Traction your knee over your ankle, so bring the knee forward. Good. I know it makes the posture more challenging, but that is where we build strength. Now, just for a moment, take a quick look at the hands. And we want, turn your palms away from one another, okay? Now look at the shoulders, palms away. See how high they are to the ears? Now begin to turn the palms towards one another and they kind of drop down. So that's what we're going for here. Take a breath in. Now begin to cactus your arms and hover your knee. Breath out. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, squeeze the left glute. Exhale, hover the knee. 1 more time. Inhale, lifts you up. Exhale, find that hover. Open the chest, squeeze the left glute, hold for 5, 4, single leg in 3, 2, and 1. Straighten up, stand up, left knee comes high. Good, flex your toes towards your face. Eagle arms, left arm underneath. So crossing the left arm underneath the right like the letter X. Maybe you go for that big bear hug. And then begin to cross left thigh on top of right thigh. Using your toes as a kickstand, point them behind you. Now maybe the back of the hands come together. Arch your upper back, send the weight into the heel of your standing foot. Squeeze the glute. Everyone put more weight into their heel, less pressure in the knees. 1 more breath in. Sink the hips just a little bit lower. As you breathe out, returning to your single leg Tadasana, left knee comes up. And we're gonna step back halfway behind our mat. Turn your foot to 45 degrees. Front foot is straight in front of you. Breathe in, reach up. Unsupported pyramid pose. So as you extend your arms behind you, notice if the shoulders are dipping forward. Can you pull them back by lifting the chest? Spread your fingers wide. Soften your front knee and pull your right hip to the back of the room. Take another breath in. And maybe as you exhale, hands can come to the floor and you just kind of linger and rest in this posture. If you want to keep it active, go stay in those airplane arms. 1 more breath in and a breath out. Good. Look to the top of your mat. Walk to the top of your mat. Step into down dog or step into high plank and take your flow. And remember, your energy, we only have so much energy. So knowing that our pinnacle posture is crow pose, maybe you opt out. Maybe you drop to the knees for a few. Inhale your left leg high. Step your left foot between your hands. High crescent lunge. Stretch your arms up high. Notice where the palms are in relation to your shoulders. Squeeze your right glute. Bring your left knee forward. Breathe in. Drop the back knee to a hover and cactus your arm. Breath out. Beautiful. Nice, Laurel. Inhale up. Exhale, drop and cactus. 1 more round. Inhale. Get ready to hold and hover. 5. Pull your thighs towards one another. 4. Open the arms more. 3. Single leg in 2. And 1. Shift into left foot. Right knee comes up. Flex your toes. Find a non-moving spot to send your awareness to. Eagle arms. Right arm underneath the left arm. Going for the full wrap. Thumbs in, pinkies out. Elbows high, thumbs away. Now cross your legs if you haven't done so already. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Now everyone use your top leg to pull your bottom leg towards the right, towards the muraled wall. Stay for 1 more breath in. Sink the hips a little lower, breath out. Coming back into your single leg Tadasana. Inhale, step back halfway to pyramid pose setup. Good, back foot 45 degrees. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swing them behind you like the Kasana airplane arms, palms down. Lift the chest higher than you think they should go. Yes, nice, Jill. Now soften your front knee and pull your right hip back. Stay for a breath in. And maybe you stay here as you breathe out, or you place your hands to the ground and give yourself a little break. 1 more breath in. 1 more breath out. Now on your next inhale, step to the top of your mat, halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Now we're gonna come into our toes, pick the heels off the ground and drop your hips towards your heels. Now from here, walk your hands behind you for support and sit your hips to your ground or the butt to the ground, coming into a high boat Navasana. Now, if you need more support, put your toes to the ground, pull the upper body forward, draw the knees into the chest. Now hold on to the backs of your thighs, supported bow pose, Navasana. Breathe in, holding on to your right leg, extend your left leg out. And then pull it in, grab the thigh, and extend the right leg out. Good. And we're just gonna move through this supported shape for the next 8, 7, try to keep the chest lifted, 6, 5, 4, building up strength in the core, 3, 2, 1 more. Now hold the backs of the legs and begin to tuck the chin and roll your body down to the earth. Now, I think one of the best ways to practice crow pose is by going zero gravity crow, okay? So for our first version of crow, stretch your arms to the sky with your palms facing the ceiling in flexion. So it's like your fingers are pointing back towards your face, your heel is pressing up to the ceiling. Now start to bring your knees to the elbows. Feel how the tailbone begins to lift. Tap your big toes together. Now take a breath in. And as you exhale, lift your upper body and bring your knees to your armpits or higher to the triceps, looking between your thumbs the whole time. Now with your arms on the your knees on the armpits, start to bend your elbows so your fingers are pointing down towards the ground. Lift the hips higher, lift the upper back higher so you're pressing into the mid-spine. Good. Are we feeling this, ladies and gentlemen? Yes. Let's continue to feel it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, come higher in the hips, 5, higher in the arms, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, first flow is finished. Start to hug the knees into the chest, roll up and down, up and down, up and down, coming into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Now from your forward fold, I want everyone to bend your knees and take your body to gorilla pose. So you may have to bend your knees a lot because essentially we're trying to slide our toes to the crease of the wrist with your palms facing up. This is a great counter stretch. Now begin to tilt the body forward. And if you want to take this into kind of a really fun version that kind of builds strength here, continue to tilt the body forward and lift the heels off the ground as you pull up on the feet. Yeah, fun balance. Weird shapes are fun. Hold 3. Nice, George. 2 and 1. Release your hands from where they are. Begin to toe heel the feet together. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Chair pose, breathe in. Drinking bird as you breathe out. Good. Lifting the heels higher than you think they could go. Lift the pinkies as high as they can go. Now with the heels high, start to stretch your arms in front of you. We're going to take hips to heels again, very slowly. 5. Maybe you need that support. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, first version here, go back into that kind of extended child's pose. If you're looking to build even more core strength, you're going to keep your knees together, put your finger or your hands on the ground next to your hips, and bring your knees and flat feet or tops of your ankles to the ground. All right. So we're going to practice a little Lalasana lifts. With your palms into the ground, you're going to take a breath in. And as you exhale, press into the left foot and lift the right foot up to the butt. And then as you exhale, drop it down. Think about the knees touching your collarbones. On your inhale, lift. Exhale, you lower. Yeah. So you can do that for the next 10 seconds or open knees with these child pose arms for 10 seconds. Wherever you are, commit. 10, 9, 8, 7. Bring in heels close to the butt as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work, everyone. Come back to the toes. Take your hands to the ground, tilt the body forward. Now, maybe this round, you bend the elbows like you're in chaturanga and step into your low chaturanga. And then from there, upward facing dog, travel to downward facing dog. Core work is fun. Inhale, right leg up. Now bring right knee to right wrist. And like an elevator, I want you to keep your knee connected to the forearm if you can, and begin to slide it up to the armpit. Slide it down to the wrist. Slide it up to the armpit. Press it down to the wrist. One more time. Slide it up and hold. 3. Lizard lunge in 2. Lizard lunge, step it out. 3. Drop the back knee. Whew. Begin to rock forward and back if you need it. So we already taken an active lizard lunge. Now let's go into our passive. So begin to roll way into the knife edge of your right foot. You can stay here pulling the heart forward. You can take your right hand to the inside and go into a little twist. If you want to take it even more, lower to the left forearm and take it from the twist from there. No matter where you are, make sure you're breathing in whatever shape you have chosen. One more breath in. Twist a little deeper as you breathe out. Walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up. Left knee to left wrist. Slide it up to the armpit. Slide it down to the wrist. Slide it up to the armpit. And down to the wrist. Last time, slide it up and hold. 5. Lizard in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it to the outside. Drop the back knee to the earth. Pick whatever passive version of lizard that you're going to take today. Yeah. Let the weight roll to the knife edge of your foot. Press your knee away from you, Gesundheit. Breathe in. Soften the muscles in your face as you breathe and twist out. Hands come back to the floor. Downward facing dog. All right, moving into our second version of the flow. Inhale your left leg high. 3-point down to our right leg high. Sorry, wrong leg. Your other left leg. Lift your right leg high. 3-point down dog. Step your foot through between your hands as you exhale. High crescent lunge. Breathe in. Cactus the arms. Drop the knee. Breathe out. Do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale, sink. 1 more time. In. Exhale, sink and hover and hold for 5. Single leg in 4, 3, 2, 1. Single leg Tadasana. Breathe in. Now we're going figure 4, gentleman's chair. So cross your ankle over. Place your hands to heart. Now we all have a block, which is such a great thing to have in this version. So you can grab your block, put it underneath your nose, use your hands for support, and then from there, begin to shift the weight towards the heels to begin to open up the outer hip. Flex your toes towards your face. Arch your upper back. Nice. Holding for 3. Not letting it go. 2 and 1. Single leg Tadasana. Breathe in. Now step off of the mat to Malasana squat. Externally rotate the knees. Place your elbows into the knees. All right. We have this block again. If you need support, if your heels are really off the ground, it's not a bad thing, okay? But maybe you just support yourself by sitting on the block. Press your elbows into the knees. Press your knees into the elbows. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Place your hands to the ground. Take that block, set it aside. Step your right foot back. Turn your left toes forward. Inhale, twisted runner's lunge. Press into the right hand. Lift the left arm high. Rotate your navel to the left inner thigh. Soften the muscles in your jaw. Take a breath in. Maybe open the chest towards the ceiling a little bit more as you breathe out. Good. Come back up to center. Breathe in. Hands to the floor. Breathe out. Step to high plank and flow. Step to down dog and wait. All right. Last side. And then we get into our pinnacle posture, guys. Inhale your left leg high. Step the left foot through between your hands. Good. High crescent. Breathe in. Arms up. Good. Exhale. Drop the knee. Cactus your arms. Nice, Sophia. Inhale. Squeeze the right glute. Exhale. Lower. 1 more round. Yes, you can. Inhale. Exhale. Lower and hold. 5. Pull the chest open just a little bit more. Good. 4, 3. Single leg in 2 and 1. Left knee up. Figure 4. Yeah. Try to get ankle on top of thigh. Return your hips into a chair pose. Send your hips to the back of the room and your heart to the front. Place your hands to a block and really begin to melt into that version. Very nice. So strong, Ashton. 1 more breath in. And a breath out. Single leg Tadasana. Inhale. Malasana squat. Step off of your mat. As you exhale, externally rotate your toes. Sink the hips down. Placing a block underneath your butt if you need that support. Yeah. It's a great way to begin to open up the inner hips. Now squeeze knees into arms. Arms press into knees for 5, 4, 3. Hands are going to come to the ground in 2 and 1. Step your left foot to the back of the room and inhale the right arm up to the sky. Twisted runner's lunge. But if you need your back knee to come to the earth, absolutely do it. Take a breath in. Turn your heart towards the sky. Draw the breath out. Come back to center, reaching to the ceiling. Breathe in. Place your hands. Step to high plank or down dog as you breathe out. All right. From your down dog, drop down to your knees. Roll out your wrists. Grab a sip of water. Celebrate that you've made it through this far in class, okay? So we're going to take our crow pose today. And if you are like, Amanda, I got crow. I know what I'm doing. Don't worry. I got you covered. Okay. So first version, 0 gravity crow. All right. So remember that crow that we did on our back? It'll give you all the components of practicing crow without actually having to deal with balance. Okay, so if crow is a goal for you, that is a wonderful place to start on your back. It takes the pressure off the wrists. It takes the pressure off everything. All right, but Amanda, I'm ready to go back into full Bakasana crow. Cool. All right, we're gonna use this block first a few different ways. So first time we're gonna use it as a perch, which I think is appropriate for birds, right? Okay, so oftentimes what I see, and it's not necessarily wrong, it's just if you ever want to transition to anything from your crow, you're gonna work on bringing your knees to your triceps. Oftentimes what I'll see is knees to the outside and squeezing in, but if you look and I do that, I come in and I squeeze my knees in, what is it doing to my shoulders? What is it doing to my elbows, right? Yeah, it's making me collapse. My joints aren't stacked, I'm unsafe. So I am definitely more of a fan of bringing my knees to my triceps for multiple reasons. All right, so once we bring here, hands to the ground, this next move should feel a little familiar. Remember when we tilted forward and stepped back into plank? That's where we're gonna go. Now me here, this is me not activating my core, not really doing anything. I'm just kind of letting gravity do what it does best, but I wanna fight against gravity. So I'm gonna push into my hands, dome my upper back, and then now I'm in this active crow. Cool. Now try not to look back at your feet, look forward. And that may be where your crow is. Maybe you play with one foot, maybe you play with lifting the other foot. All right, first version. Second version, block will go at the front, creating 3 points of contact. When we have more contact with the earth, we feel more stable. So what you're gonna do, take your hand, setting up for your crow, place your forehead on the block, and maybe play with one foot and set it down, other foot. And then maybe you press into the hands and into the feet and come up, all right? That's our second version of crow. Third version of crow is just a traditional crow, all right? No block, no nothing, just playing around. That may be where your work is today. But Amanda, I'm so good at crow. What else do I do? Okay, cool, I got you. Adding dynamic moves to it. So when you come into your crow pose, try to kind of, I call it a pendulum swing. I'll come here, pendulum swing, bringing the left knee to the right, over, right knee to the left, over, have a seat, break, okay? I think you tried that on Saturday, didn't you? Yeah. How'd that go for you, Gray? Yeah. So yeah, it's always fun. Crow push-ups is another thing you can do if you're feeling particularly strong. Crow push-ups, you're essentially in crow, and you straighten the arms and bend the arms. That's always fun. So you guys, there you go. Have fun. Lots of versions of crow. So I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to play. So the first version I would recommend if you're new to this posture or still building strength in it is coming into that zero gravity crow. If you want that block underneath your feet, like the perch, or the block below your head, like a support, or play around any other way. Yeah, and don't attach any importance or meaning to if you actually fly, okay? Because that's not really the point of the practice. Now remember when you get your knees on your triceps to press into the earth and dome your upper back to protraction. There it is. Beautiful, yes, about 1 more minute to keep trying. Just because you're falling doesn't mean you're failing, okay? Good work, everyone. Hell yes, back row. I see you, back row. You got 20 seconds left. Wherever you want to go, don't forget to roll out the wrists in between. At about 10 more seconds, what do you want to end your crow practice with? Externally rotating the hips, protracting the shoulders, chaturanga arms for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest. Let's cool it down, guys. How'd that feel? Yeah? Cool. Yes, you guys learned something new about your crow today? Okay. So we all have a block, so we might as well use it. We're going to do each one of these postures for 1 minute. Okay. So it may take a minute or a second to get comfortable in it. So the first thing I want you to do is take this block. If you're tight in the shoulders, you're going to go the lowest setting. Okay. And this block will go somewhere. It's going to be different for everyone between like your hips, these kind of creases up here. Okay. And the bottom of your shoulder blades. And I always like to start with my feet on the ground because it gives me more leverage. Let my head rest and open arms, maybe legs go long. Now, if you want a little bit more, like for me, I'm hypermobile in my shoulders. So I like to go like a book of a spine or the spine of a book. down my shoulders. And you want to make sure that the block is going lengthwise along your spine, not against it. Good. Once we get there, take a mental inventory of your body and then begin to recognize, is this a posture that I can maintain and sustain for 1 minute? If not, feel free to call me over. I can help you figure out one that you can. Take a moment here to kind of breathe and tune into the body. This is where we started our flow. Does it feel any different than the last time you were here? What can you let go of? What isn't serving you anymore? About 20 more seconds, letting whatever you have in the shoulders and the jawline release. Begin to walk your feet towards your body. Walk your elbows underneath your shoulders. There's no fancy way to get out of this, but begin to come out of the posture. Nice. Stay in it if you feel like if this is just heaven for you, stay in it. All right. Moving into frog pose. Everyone face the mural for this one. Keep your block in front of you. So in your frog pose, you're going to start in your tabletop. Now, if you do frog pose and you're like, this posture is not for me, I want you to come into a Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, and then tilt the upper body forward. So frog pose. If you'd like to roll your mat up to the side to protect your knees, and you're going to come into a tabletop, and from your tabletop, tuck the toes and start to walk the knees away from one another, knock stuff over, and then come down to the forearms, right? And untuck the toes, turning the toes towards your shin bones into flexion. Now start to just gently drive your hips back towards your heels, but actively press into the arms so we're not losing any kind of strength or connection. Yeah, we're here for 1 minute. There we go, that's better. And there will be a moment that where your body will begin to maybe rebel against you. And that's just your body protecting you. But if it's uncomfortable, I encourage you to kind of press through it, knowing that, you know, you're perfectly safe. But if it starts to encroach into pain, I want you to back out. About 10 more seconds left. Coming out in the next 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk your hands underneath the shoulders. Now to come out of it, tuck the toes, pick the knees up, and then pull them together. Yeah, there we go. Let's come into an embryo pose for a moment. Sit your hips to your heels and reach your arms behind you. Beginning to counter what we've done into rabbit pose. So tuck the chin towards the chest. Grab your heels so the thumbs are on the outside and the forefingers like mittens curl to the inside. Start to pull your heels, placing your forehead to your knees, elbows are bent. Good. Make sure your palms are on the outside of the feet. So your palms are facing in towards one another. Yes, good adjustments, everyone. Take a breath in. Pull on the heels and maybe start to lift your hips off of the heels, using the pull as leverage to not rest any weight in the crown of your head. Chin is tucked. Holding for 3. Holding for 2. Holding for 1. Begin to round up slowly but surely. Walk your hands behind you to your fingertips. Press into the shin bones and begin to lift up into the supported camel pose. And your hips don't need to come off the ground. You can just arch the upper back if that hip lift is too much. Let's stay here for one more breath in. Press the hips more to the front of the room. Breath out. Begin to lower the hips. Rock your weight into your right hip. Extend your legs straight out long and lean. With the knees slightly bent, reach the hands in front of you. Tuck your chin to the chest. And begin to roll your upper body down to the mat for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, rest on 1. If you'd like to put that block once more between the shoulders for your Savasana, if there's anything else you want for your practice, feel free to give yourself about a minute of playtime. I'm going to be walking around with your frozen lavender towels. If you don't want one, give me a little wave. Dankeschön. 1 minute of playtime begins now if you need it. Otherwise, just go 1 minute into full out rest. Sorry about that, guys. Take a big breath in. Let something go as you breathe out. But you guys all pretty much all went straight into Savasana. I understand that. I feel that vibe. Great work today, Prince. Awesome job. Great work today, guys. You're so welcome. And I heard it's your birthday, so you get 2 today. Great work today. Good job. Take a big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Savasana. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to leave you this afternoon. Stay in this space until we close our class out. And even after we do, consider staying here for another 10 to 15 breaths. For a lot of us, this will be the last moment of peace that we give ourselves before we return back to our everyday lives. So if you can, capitalize off of the luxury of being able to lie here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon while the world goes on around us. You deserve this. You deserve this rest. You deserve to treat yourself with kindness and respect. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for coming in today. My name is Amanda. I'll be at the front if you have any questions. Until we meet again, the light in me sees, honors, and loves the light in you. Go in peace, friends. Namaste.